I have 5 stocks, one of which a rare treat, a penny stock that I want to talk about in this video. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and do you know why some fish live in salt water? It's because pepper water would make them sneeze. I have some technicals to talk about for 5 different companies. We have Moderna, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Insulet, and the penny stock Ocugen. I think each one of those are very interesting right now in their charts, and they could lead to some outsized gains if I'm correct about them. I will tell you later in this video where you can see my buys and sells and how I'm playing the market, and also about my Tesla stock price prediction and earnings projections, my options course that I'm building, and then also how you can do technical analysis like I do. In the meantime, I do want to get right into the charts on this. So we're going to kick things off with Moderna. The ticker symbol for Moderna is MRNA. So let me pop that up there for you and we will begin talking about it. So here's the chart for Moderna, and if I zoom out on this thing, you can see this thing back during the peak of the pandemic was up around $500 per share and is now down below, just below $100 per share. So I do believe that seeing this rejection that we got off of this yellow line coming down right down through here, the 200-day simple moving average, we have a retest almost down. We actually had buyers come in just above the 50-period exponential moving average. We're up above the 50-period simple moving average, is right here, which means that we could be flipping this thing around. We're up above this long-term downtrend that we have here, and then we have a secondary long-term downtrend to also break up above the, you can see we got rejected on the last time, and that also happens to be right at around $116 per share. Well, I think that it's possible that we actually find that support coming in around here, right around that $100 mark. We closed yesterday at $99.70. I think it's possible that we get a significant bounce from this, and then that golden cross comes by moving back up through here and retesting that 200. I think that would be the time that we could possibly break through it. Some things that we want to watch for: the RSI right now is rocking right along 50 on the daily chart. We want to move that back up above 50 to see that bullishness come out, and we also don't want to break down below price wise. We don't want to break down below this 50-period EMA, which right now is at about $95 per share. So we want to watch for that momentum to give that signal that it's time to jump in. And then when we look at the weekly chart on this, we actually broke up above 50, came back down, settled on it for a little bit, and we're actually rocking just above 50 on the weekly for this as well. So ever so slightly bullish. We want to see that tick upward on this. So we want to see that push upward. And I think that we could see that in the near future on Moderna. Should that hit, we have room up to the 200-day, which right now is at about 108, almost 109. And then should we actually break through that, we actually have room up to that 116 level. So that's at least a 16% gain from where we're at right now. And we'll see if we even manage to break through that. And I think that we most definitely have that potential to do so. So I'm actually really excited about Moderna and why I wanted to talk about it. The next one is Dollar General. So DG is the ticker symbol for that one. And what we have in blue is a long-term support, long-term historic support. And when you look more recently at the price action, let me expand this a little bit for you so you can see it better. There we go. So when you look at this, we actually have a really decent support coming along the bottom of this thing. So you can see that slant line moving upward from there, and across the tops of these things, we actually have what looks to be shaping up to be, being that this is about straight across right here. Right across here is an ascending triangle pattern. So if we hold support down here, come back up and retest this trend line, breaking up above that is a very bullish move. So right now, rocking about 134. Should we break up above that, we actually have room up to about 150 on this. So that is significantly up from where we're at right now. That is over a 10% climb for Dollar General stocks. Let's reset the chart view so that you can see that a little bit better, that little gap that we have to fill there. And that is something that could possibly lead it to a golden cross moment where we'd actually have that break up above the 200-day and then the 50 come up and cross the 200, and we could actually get that trend reversal. So we want to be watching for that. It is noteworthy to point out that we have broken this downtrend significantly. We actually broke it a while ago, and you can see that we experienced that bullishness following it, and I think there could potentially be some further bullishness moving on as we get closer to that earnings date, which is coming out in the middle of March. So we have, well, actually Pi Day, as a matter of fact, 314. So for those of you who are math nerds out there, so I think Dollar General should absolutely be one that you're watching right now. I think that it could perform really well. We're going to move on to Dollar Tree. There we go. In Dollar Tree, you can actually see this one, I think, is a little bit more along than what we had for Dollar General, but something sort of similar. We actually came up and tested this resistance that we had for the downtrend, for the tops of them, and we did break up above the 200-day. That's this yellow squiggle that you see coming down through here, and the 50 period, we actually came down and almost got that retest. And I think because we came off the red, which is the 50 EMA here, I think that we're going to end up breaking back up above this very soon. And I think that that's going to be very good for us. So that would take us up to about 140-ish. So we could actually see about 7 to 8% coming up off of this. And if that does lead to the golden cross moment, where this blue 50 that we have here crosses the yellow line that's all the way right here, this long yellow swooping across here, the 200-day, leading to that golden cross moment, I think that we could break that downtrend and see even further upside. And so we're going to have to watch for that we could see at least 10% coming out of that one for Dollar Tree. So the next one that I want to talk about is Insulet, ticker symbol PODD for this one. So POD, if you want to refer to it that way. And you can see the long-term downtrend right now that we need to break over. So far we have not. We have a bullish pennant building up right here where we have this part right here, which is like the flagpole for that pennant. And then when the pennant itself is building up right in here, let me switch over to a trend line. There we go. And we'll get the bottom of this thing drawn in here for you. And I'll make that adjustment. We'll zoom in so you can see a lot better what's going on here. There we are. And we'll even stretch that out a little bit to exaggerate it. And we'll make one final adjustment. So you can see that we double tested the support that we have here on the 50 EMA. Here's the 50 SMA coming up through, possibly another golden cross coming our way. Now we do need to break up above this top trend line that we have here. And I do think that when watching these trend lines that we will eventually break through the top of this thing. That'll be that confirmation of that bullish movement. And I think that could possibly lead to that golden cross moment for Pod Insulet. So it's one that I'm watching. Should we break down through the bottom of this trend line, that's also going to send us back down through the 50 SMA and EMA, in which case it would cancel that current movement that we have right now, and we continue that downtrend for a little bit longer than that we stay bearish on it. So those are most definitely things that you want to watch out for Moderna, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Insulet. And I want to tell you just real quick, this technical analysis that I'm doing, if you want to learn to do a technical analysis yourself and gain an edge in the markets, you can use the technical analysis course. There's a link for this down in the description, and there's a coupon code that goes along with it. Massive savings, only goes on for another couple weeks here. TRADE. So you can go in there. You got hours of videos, practice testing, lifetime access. There's even a Discord that goes along with it where there's a learning community over there where you can ask other people questions, including me, including Stock Mo. We're also over there as well. And then there's also live teaching sessions. I believe they occur weekly. And I have a chapter that is featured in here where I introduce some things about buying call options and buying put options. So you can also get access to that as well inside of this course. And if you guys want to see how I'm specifically personally playing this market, you can do so by joining the Patreon. That link is also down in the description. And I also have my Tesla stock price prediction and earnings projection over there. I'll update it on January the 5th. Their earnings are on Wednesday in the after hours. So go ahead and check that out as soon as possible. And then if you want to see how to play options, what you can do is get access to my options course, which is also available to all Patreon members. All you got to do is sign up for that Patreon. For any of those paid tiers, you get access to the options course as well. And I just started adding those applications of options to that course. So it goes from the complete beginner and it will go all the way up through advanced option strategies. So go ahead and take advantage of that. With that said, I'm going to bring that back down. We're going to put the charts back up and we're going to get into the last one, which is Ocugen. OCGN is the ticker symbol for that one. And this one, there is a clinical trial right now for their dry macular degeneration, which my grandmother actually had, and I am at risk for also having it, which basically you can't see things that are directly in front of your face. You can only see in the peripheral parts of your vision. And there's a wet macular degeneration and a dry one. The wet one, I believe, is treatable. The dry one right now, there's really not a whole lot going for it, but Ocugen is working on that, and they're in the phase of the clinical trials. And you can see the excitement that they recently had, sending them well up over the 200 period simple moving average, settled back down retested the 200. I think we're going to get that next bullish move sometime soon. And for this one, I think this one can actually have some significant potential to it. So it has de-risked from when it was up at 72. We are, as of yesterday's close, at 53. However, before this thing popped, we were all the way down at about 40. So this thing could settle further. Penny stocks are super high risk. I don't really make it a point to cover them on my channel, but this is one that, should that clinical trial get approved with the FDA, this is one that I think is going to go absolutely bananas, and we should get that news sometime for at least, I think, the phase 2 or phase 3 of the trial sometime in Q1 of this year. And so staying ahead of the curve on that, this is one that I'm actually thinking about making a small, very small, super small position in my portfolio for this one and starting the dollar cost average into it just for that next pop that could come along. And I think this is one that could pay off very handsomely, and I think that's one that you should absolutely be watching. I will never tell you what to buy or sell. I will not do that. No financial advice here, but I will tell you about things that I think are very much worth watching and things that could pay off handsomely should I be right about the technicals that are out there. I will tell you that recently, I like to share my results that I have recently getting into IWM, and also, let me see, Enphase is also one that I took a recent position on, Trade Desk, SoFi, and a whole lot more. You guys can check all that out at the Patreon. That link is down in the description. I can tell you the Trade Desk one worked out very well. IWM, which tracks the Russell 2000, paid out very well. SoFi that I'm in, that one right now up very handsomely, but I think we're going to get the run up to earnings. Gonna keep a hold of those for a little while longer yet. And then the Enphase one, we'll see if we get that bounce that I'm expecting with some of the solar stocks. So we do have GDP, which is going to be a catalyst. We got to be watching out for that. We also have the inflation report on Friday. We have the Fed meeting after that. Those are going to be major catalysts where solar is concerned. So it could be a bit of a coin flip. I'm going to hang on and really might have to grip those reins tight, but I think that we should see some good news coming out for that. So let me know what you think of these 5 stocks. Click on the links down in the description for the Patreon. If you learn about technical analysis, go ahead and get that course. Do not forget the coupon code TRADE. That's the word trade. That is also down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, sign up, and then learn about that technical analysis and take your trading game to the next level. Guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. As always, I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.